One eternity later.
Who got it apart, Bernard? Team Barnyard Engineering Limited. It only required a small bit of persuasion, as you can see. Well done, Bernard. I think you've earned yourself a slice of cake, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Yes. If you like to bill John for your cake.
Yes, I will.
Yes, good. We can crack on now, but I'm going to replace the bushes because I think that was the problem. Yes, penis. Here's the forks. As you can see, there's a bit of wear at the top, up here. But you know, at the end of the day, it's a 2006 bike. Went out 2025. It happens. I've seen similar. Anyway, I'm just cleaning them up a little bit. I'll just clean that up a little bit and bunged a rag inside and got it all out. Made sure the cat's all screwed on, and then I'll just rinse it. Ignore the old shit. I'll do the other bits. But interestingly, I've just been on MOT, and I put in the Suzuki version of the VZ1600, and yes, they've got quite a few spares and what have you, and they've got fork seals and all that lot, but they didn't show any bushings. Now, the Suzuki it's I don't know who come up with the idea of building it first, but it's the exact same bike as a Kawasaki VN16 Mean Streak. Basically a change of badges, a slight change of bodywork, but otherwise pretty much exactly the same bike, exactly the same forks. If I put in a Mean Streak, which I believe was officially imported here, it brings everything up. So it's a good tip to just cross-reference parts, is look at a Mean Streak, and they have the bushings, and the bushings are about 21 quid, which ain't bad. That's what I was expecting. So they will be ordered tomorrow. It's Monday today. We get paid on Tuesday, so I'll get them. They might even be here on Wednesday. I have just said in the video, oh yeah, the bushes weren't sliding over each other. They actually shouldn't, but hang on, let me put you down. Let's put some light on the subject. But I can't get the bastards apart now. Anyway, this is all going so terribly well going. It is, there you go, it's coming. It's coming. Right, when I've got these apart, I'll bring you back. Where to put you? I'll tell you what, I'll just lay you down here. No, I won't. Let's lay you on top of the old telephonic communications unit. There. Right, these are the bushes that go in the forks. You say these are worn. Look, you can see. There you go. Inside. That's worn. That was not so bad, but it's worn on the inside. Now then, this one, the larger one, goes in the fork stanchion. It sits just below the seal, so that sits below the seal. Then you've got well, let's see if we can find it. What are you fucking about at? Where is it, you little bastard? No, I can't see the bit offhand, but anyway, you have the bushing that goes pop into the top of the stanchion where the expanded part is, and then you have a metal ring that sits above it, and that gives the seal something to sit on, and then the seal goes on top, and then you have a circlip, and then you have your dust cap, and that's how that bit works. Yeah. And you assemble all that when you've done this bit. This is the other bush, and that goes there. Jim, you've probably got them the wrong way around. Yes, I have. This one goes there on the stanchion, and that one goes in there. Now the right way around. So what happens is, let me do this. Obviously, you've got this one in the stanchion, and that one on the other one. And basically, what it does when you do the slide hammer, they're doing that. And this one should push this one out with the seal. That wasn't happening. These were not happy bunnies at all. The seal was rock hard. The outer edge of the seal was rock hard, which doesn't help. It's a bit like, you know, our brake caliper piston seal goes all manky, and there's enough pressure in there to hold that piston in. If any of you have struggled with caliper pistons, you'll know exactly what I mean. The rubber grips it. Well, the rubber slid on the stanchion lovely, but it may have been really stuck in there. I mean, that's happened. So that's how you slide hammer it out. Usually they just pop apart with not much effort, but you know, whatever, a combination of stuff. There was no corrosion or anything, but what we ended up doing, I heated up the end of the stanchion, the expended end of the, nice and evenly, and I heated it up quite a bit. And then while it was hot, doesn't damage the metal, while it was hot, we then shoved the rod, big thick steel rod, down the end of this, because all this screws in to this part here, and this is all solid cast from down there, so there's a good base to get a bit of a whack on. And then we basically thumped it, and it just popped apart. That little bit of heat made all the difference. Now I wish I would have known that a couple of days earlier, but anyway, never mind, they're out now. So these will be replaced, and what the bushes do, obviously you've got one on the stanchion and one in the fork. They stop the fork rocking. I'm going to do that again. Right, ready? Stop the fork rocking, because it needs to rock a tiny little bit. And so these allow it to do that. But when these wear, you start to get a bit more rock, and if you get a bit more rock, what you're doing is you're pulling on the lip of the seal all the time. So that seal is supposed to be a flush fit around the slidey bit. That's the technical term. But if the forks rock, obviously you get a gap, and that's how you start to get a seal leak. If you get any dirt in there as well, that creates the same scenario. So fresh bushes stop the rock, and your seals should last longer. I mean, it's like I said with the GPZ, I probably did them 3 times before I replaced the bushes, and then it never did it again. Well, I ended up selling it actually, but so yeah, so we're now in the position where we can order the new parts and get it back together again, and get it back to Mr. John, sit around the fire and call the cat a bastard. I've just got the side panel off the Z. I've actually been out with my friend, the captain, and you'll see I've just had a go on his 300cc scooter. He's got a Honda, whatever it was, something 300 anyway, fuel injected. Fucking hell, it's quick, and it's proper quick. I mean, I took the Aprilia, and at no point did he struggle to keep up. And then he led for a little bit, and I had to get on it a bit to keep up with him. So yes, splendid. Been up the welcome calf, but I was fitting the fuel pump, and then he's dragged me out against my will for breakfast. I've just noticed we've got a wire broken on the Z for the rear left indicator. That's corroded basically, so I'm going to have to depin it and just shorten it a little bit and recrimp it. Otherwise, we're not going to have any flashy-cators. Nice. Why is it always literally a couple of days before an MOT when stuff presents you with new problems? This is a new problem. I did show you it very briefly, but this wire has corroded. There you go, you can still see the pin, hopefully. The pink wire, I believe, obviously the loom, Kawasaki, anybody like that, they're not going to emit a wire that isn't used. It will be hidden in the loom somewhere, and I do believe it's to use the indicators as like running lights on other country markets. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this. Jim, use your words like a big man. I'm gonna actually chop this plug off because I've got a spare, and I've got a box of terminals that goes in there. All I need to remember is I need to put female terminals in because the indicator is a male terminal. And then what I'll do, I will pair this back, put some female terminals on. They will clip into there, and we will have that fixificated. This is not a problem, we'll just tape over the end of that. Funny enough, the front headlight doesn't have a side light circuit, and yet this is a UK bike, so strange. Penis. Always giving motorcycles. I've just noticed I've just took the fuel pipe off, and this tap is in the off position, and it's dribbling a tiny little bit of petrol, but not enough to suggest that it's just what's in the tap. So my fuel has not been shutting off fully, which is, considering I'm running a gravity feed, is a bit dodgy, because it could, in theory, overpower the needles and seats and stuff if they're not in good nick or there's a bit of crap on them, and put petrol into the cylinders. I have just checked the oil, there's no smell of petrol, so we're good on that front. This is something else that obviously the fuel pump does, is it acts as a secondary fuel tap. So yes, what I think I'm going to have to do is I will put a length of hosage on it so I can bring it out and then chuck it in a can, because there's not a lot in here. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll just take out as much fuel as I can. I'll stick it on reserve, and then I'll take as much out, because it's the weight of the fuel that's probably forcing it past. Nice. Another problem to attempt to solve. Penis.
12 seconds later.
There's always a solution, folks. Stick it on reserve and drain the bastard. I'm not too worried about that, because when it's in the opposition, it's the merest of tricklage, and it's the pump is more than adequate to shut that off. So as soon as the pump is installed, I ain't really bothered. So the idea is whack the pump on, redo the fuel line without a filter. I don't think it needs one, but you know, now it's got the pump, I could leave the filter on it, but I'll have to adjust the fuel line going to the pump, and then the pump to the carby tinkle, make some new fuel line up. Which ideal is that's nice, still nice and pliable and what have you. and we'll fixify that. I've found the little terminals for the plug. And before you do anything like that, test fit the terminal to whatever it's connecting to. Make sure it's a nice snug fit. It is. It's nice and tight, like any lady should be. Yes, James. Stop it. It's been a year. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm up to. Just draining the tank, and then I'll crack on. I've got literally, 2 days worth of spare hours to get this one sorted. This one's going for a MOT first on Wednesday. Phyllis is Thursday. I don't think I need, other than put some air in the tyres a little bit, I don't think I need to do anything to Phyllis. Have I showed you the shockingly bad exhaust I made? You can't get the back section of the exhaust anymore for love nor money. And I had that knocking around. Well, it fit, and I've just put some really bad looking seal around it because I like it to look shit. And then what I bought, because that was an open pipe then, and it was ridiculously loud, I've bought an adjustable baffle which has been riveted in the end, but before I riveted it in, I wrapped it in wadding, and it's not that bad at all now, so we'll see. We can only see. Right. Yes. Tested the pump. It's good. When I thumb the starter, this goes ticky 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 ticky, which is what it should do. I don't know whether I can actually demonstrate it, whether you actually can hear it. Here we go. You hear that? That's the pump working, so that's good. I can now mount it in its proper bracket, plumb it in, and we should be good for calling the cat a bastard. Nice.
A few inches later.
Pump installed, and there you go. It's nice, simple fit, same size as the old one anyway. And then we've got our inlet and our outlet. Our outlet goes up to the carpet tinkle, and obviously the inlet from the tap. This is a water drain from the airbox, if you're wondering what that little filtery thing is. And of course I've used two completely dissimilar fasteners just to annoy people, because annoying people is, part of the reason why I live. Oh, hang on. Lovely. Because, it's like my mate, the captain does it as well, because his son's got a bit of OCD, as I have in some areas. Obviously, none of them relevant to a motorcycle. He will deliberately leave a rusty bolt on a bike that is like gone through and not restored as such, but made really good. And he'll deliberately leave one rusty bolt on it, just to wind his son up, which is, it works for me. So this is now Monday. I'm going to leave this here for today because I need a little bit of chill time before I go to work, and then I will continue on this on Tuesday. So this one is ready for its MOT Wednesday morning. I think I've got the old helmet cam working again, the GoPro. I bought new batteries for it, so I might just rig that up to the helmet and do a helmet cam jobby on the way to the MOT, and then we shall bring it home and go to work. Probably go to work on Olive, actually, very good commuter. And then Thursday it's this little bugger, and what I'll do Thursday, if she passes the MOT, is I will tax it immediately, because it's only like 25 quid for the year. And this is a brilliant commuter, absolutely brilliant. If you go through town with it and all this lot, you're not slower than any other traffic. Down the country lanes, this is flat out, it's not really slower than anything else. So that's the plan. Whether it will come to fruition is an entirely different matter. Anyway, let's do a hub nut ending. The pump is all plumbed in. That's all up to the carburettor's all clipped in nicely. It's routed nicely, and then we've got plenty to get to the old fuel tab. Yes, and what I'm doing now is this piece of the bodywork, side piece, split just there, and trying to refit them with the tank on, it was really difficult, and they were riding over each other. So what I'm doing now, I'm just loosening this bottom bit up, and we'll jiggly poke it until it's sitting together properly, and then tighten it all back up, and it'll all look flush again. Nice. But the only other job now I've got to do, obviously put the tank on, is redo the wiring at the back, and should be good for the MOT. Because really I've only got this morning and probably an hour in the morning to get everything sorted. So yes, getting there eventually. Right, the last job before the MOT is to get this terminal back on so we have a rear turn signal. I'm going to be using these. Basically I'm making a new terminal, but that fits into the original Kawasaki one, so all good. These are uninsulated terminals. I've got my wire slippers. So what you need is a crimper for uninsulated terminals, because an insulated one won't do it. And basically it's this, and I got this kit off Amazon. I've had it a little while, because if you're replacing connectors, it's easier to do it with the right kit. And then what that does, if you see the little shelves in there, they correspond with the tabs, and what it does, as it crimps, it will fold those tabs over. So the bottom tabs there will grip the wire, and the top tabs will grip the insulation. And so that is what I is using, and there's 3 different sizes, so you just basically chuck it in the one that's closest and go crimp. And this is a set of insulated crimpers, and it won't do those. These are for the ones that you normally buy at like the auto stores, motorist centres. You see them everywhere, and they're colour coded, yellow, blue, red, which is the sizes, and these, they're for use on those, and they work pretty well. This is a double crimper as well. This will not only crimp onto the wire, but it will put some securing tabs into the plastic as well. It sort of crimps the plastic properly so it holds the wire. So there, lesson of the day.
A few moments later.
There it is, nice neat installation, fits straight into the original loom on the body panel, and I've got the wiring the correct way round without looking at the manual. We now have a flashy cater, so that's good. But what I'm going to do while we're in the back here, I'm going to get some WD and stuff right into these connectors, or some penetrating oil or something like that, just to lube them. And then what I'm going to do is tape this end off, because this is not used, just so we haven't got a live wire touching anything. Nice. Tank's back on, and you just got to be careful when you put it on that you don't pinch any of these hoses. We've got plenty left to feed it under there and ram it on there, which is where it were. So all that's good, and didn't have to remove that panel, so that's good. The only thing I had to do was reconnect the fuel level sensor, which should correctly show fuck all. There we go. Yes, lovely, because I did drain the tank. We do have some petroleum in there, but I put the rest of it in olive. So I'm going to take about a gallon out of olive, because I can always go and fill her up today, and then put some in spurtage. And when it's a bit later, it's only about 7 o'clock at the moment, when it gets a bit later, 9 o'clock, something like that, I will give it a test fire. Now it will probably crank for ages, because it's got to pump the fuel through and fill the float bowls up, but other than that, at least it's given me a chance to have an inspectification and what have you. So yeah, job's gone good, and then that's all the MOT work done for Spurt, so that's good. I ain't got to panic in the morning, do last minute jobs or anything like that. fingers crossed. And then Phyllis is Thursday. I'll have a quick look at Phyllis tonight. Basically all I've got to do, check everything works, put air in the tyres. Not that she loses air, but I just want to double check the tyre pressures. And then she can go. Nice. I'm going to end this video here. Ooh, I've just seen a loose bolt. I'll tighten that up. Because Spurt's all ready now. Can't really do any more. And we'll put it in for its MOT, see how that goes. I never take a pass for granted. You never know, because they might spot something you've missed because you're too busy concentrating on other stuff. But yes, that's Spurt done. I've nicked a little bit of fuel oleum out of olive, so we should start seeing some fuel in the tank. Oh, it's going up. Going up slowly. What I'll probably do when I finish work tonight is nip down the garage and get a can of petrol, and then I ain't got to worry about freaking about tomorrow. You know, stick a gallon in it. Yeah, that's probably about where reserve is at the minute. Oh, it's going up a little bit. Yeah, cool. I've done 1,222 miles. Nice. So yes, so I'm going to leave this one here, and then I'm going to leave the next one till the weekend, and it will be taking this for an MOT. I don't show where I have it MOT'd, or I don't show the MOT process or anything like that, and taking Phyllis. And then if Phyllis passes, I might immediately tax it and go out on a jolly, because I'm actually off Thursday, so I don't know yet. It's all an open book of wonder. Yes, Jim, like we wonder how you get away with it. Why do they put these fucking stupid ring pulls in cartons? Why can't they just put one in where when you unscrew the lid it breaks the seal? Because I don't know why, but I'm getting weak in my old age, but I need pliers to pull these out now, and it's fucking infuriating.